Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we have a reaction to the Ringers 2024 NBA Draft Guide. Might be my favorite thing to react to we've done so far. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Kevin O'Connor. I think his analysis are great. And overall, I've been looking at the Ringers Draft Guide since I was like, I don't even know. It's been more than 5 years, though, for sure. Probably for like 4 years, actually, though. Who knows? But great insight, and Kevin O'Connor is one of the best there is right now for NBA draft analysts or analysis. So I think we just jump right into it. With the first overall pick, I guess this is technically a mock draft as well, but really, it's just a draft guide for player rankings at the end of the day. First overall pick, he has Zachary Risacher, out of the JL Bourg, or plays in the LNB Pro A France League. Okay, not my first overall prospect, and I probably don't think he'll ever be my first overall prospect unless we see big improvements across the board from him. He's been pretty efficient, though, which is something we really don't see from these overseas draft prospects. His dimension, 6'8", 202. Doesn't look 202 out on the court, just definitely looks a lot more skinny. But defensively, he reminds me, and I guess kind of moving with the ball on offensive well. He definitely reminds me of these other French wing prospects, whether it's Ousmane Dieng, who went to the Thunder, or Ryan Rupert, who ended up going to the Blazers. Zachary Risacher, defensively, okay, long arms, gets in the passing lanes. We know what comes with the defense. Offensively, though, I don't really know if I could see a spot-up shooter. It's really just a spot-up shooter. He'll have his athletic pump fake and drive to the baskets. You know, he'll have some of those, but really he's just an athletic shooter. Shades of Michael Porter Jr., sure. I mean, that makes sense to me. Second overall pick, Alex, I guess we'll give a grade too. I'll give this one a B+, just because I think Alex Sarr is my first overall prospect still. Second is Alex Sarr. He has him going to the Wizards. I'll give it an A+. My number one prospect, going to a team who needs big help. Daniel Gafford is there, but is he your future at center? Don't really know about that one. Yeah, he brings shot blocking. He brings great hustle, great defense. On-ball defense is also amazing. He's guarding wings and guards in the top of the key, and able to stick with them like nothing. Very impressive from Alex Sarr. That's all of those reasons why he's my number one overall prospect. A+ for sure, going to the Wizards at 2. At 3, he has Nikola Topic out of Serbia. Yeah, I like this. By the way, top 3 prospects, none of them coming from college. Future of the NBA, who knows? But Nikola Topic, yes, he's definitely a distributing guard who can really do everything on the court. 6'6", 200. It gives the Spurs great point guard option. Not a small guard. He's 6'6". He's a great passer. He can create with the ball amazingly, like a lot of these European guards. Nikola Topic being compared to Goran Dragic, I don't mind it. I definitely don't mind it. Really not a lot of players in the NBA that play like Topic right now, though. So that's why you probably have a little bit of these weaker comparisons. I like him, though. I think someone in my video last time, my mock draft 3.0, complained I didn't give him to the Spurs earlier. What was it, at 2 when I picked Zachary Risacher? I gave him to him at 7. I think he has definitely a range. He can end up. I think he's definitely a top 10 right now. He can end up as high as probably 1, and he probably doesn't drop out of the top 10. But I thought 7 wasn't too bad for him. At 4, we have Reed Sheppard, though. He's comparing him to Derek White, and I think that sure, I didn't expect Reed Sheppard to be this high on a mock draft, but he brings immediate role player potential for you. Great shooter, great defender, great hustler. He does everything on the court at 6'3", 187. So he's a smaller guy, and he's still able to hustle, shoot. Shooting has been amazing for him. And on-ball defense, it's really just been his hustle. A lot of these players can't have as good as on-ball defense as Reed Sheppard, but definitely the hustle is what separates him. I didn't expect him to be this high. Probably a little too rich for me. I see him probably highest at like 9 or 8. Depends where the Hawks end up picking, because I think that's probably the first true place where I could see him going. The Hornets, though, Reed Sheppard's great. I just don't know if he's going to end up this high at 4. In my next mock draft, I'm probably going to aim to give him to the Hawks somewhere in the top 10. But 4, interesting. Maybe I have to move him up a little bit. I'll give this one a B, though, just because it's great fit next to LaMelo Ball. At 5, we have Cody Williams, out of Colorado to the Portland Trail Blazers. He's my second best player in this class right now. Dropping to 5 is definitely interesting for Cody Williams, considering he's had such an amazing season for Colorado as a freshman. Just looking at his stats real quick for the Colorado, what is even their mascot? Why is it blanking on me? Buffaloes, obviously. Looking at his stats real quick, though, he's averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, 1.9 assists on 59% field goal percentage. 59% field goal percentage. You heard that right. He's just able to really do everything on the court. Defensively, offensively, able to get to the rim like no other freshman really this year. And the shot has looked pretty good overall for Cody Williams. A+ for me at 5 to the Portland Trail Blazers. He compared him with Jalen Rose. Okay, I don't mind it. At 6, Matas Buzuelos, someone who was originally projected a lot higher in the early mock drafts, but now dropped a little bit. Not a great season so far with the Ignite, G League Ignite, but he has NBA potential. 6'11", lengthy point guard / shooting guard / small forward / power forward. I mean, he can really play anywhere between the 1 and the 4. Probably would like him more at the 3 or the 4, but overall, it's a good potential pick, especially for a team who's rebuilding like the Raptors. I'll give it an A- for Matas Buzuelos to the Toronto Raptors. At 7, we have Kevin McCullough Jr. to Kansas. Yeah, if the Grizzlies do end up with this high of a pick at 7 and don't end up trading it, because I think that's a real possibility, because you want to get good players around Ja Morant, so maybe we don't want to draft a rookie right away. But if they do end up picking a player, go pick a proven guy, whether it's Kevin McCullough, whether it's Dalton Knecht. Pick an older college guy who can come on your team right away and just give them immediate scoring, defense, shooting, all of these things that Kevin McCullough can do. At 8, Rob Dillingham to the Rockets. Yeah, he's a bucket getter. The reason why he's so high in this draft and not late 20s, early 30s is because he's improved on his playmaking abilities when he came out of high school or overtime elite before he got to Kentucky. He was just known as a shifty scorer, but he's improved his playmaking a lot, and that's why he's most likely viewed as a lottery pick. Lou Williams, Ball in Thailand, sure. Just scorers, shifty scorers who like to shoot a lot. I don't mind it. At 9, we have Jacoby Walter out of Baylor. Yeah, him and don't know how to pronounce his name. The Missy, their center. Just 2 good draft prospects in my opinion. Jacoby Walter, more of a scorer. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes in the draft because, sometimes teams don't draft guys who could really just score. Walter does have a good variety of bucket getting, like Keontae George last season. Kind of a weak comparison because they both went to Baylor. But Walter's been a little bit better than him. Higher field goal percentage. I think lower points per game overall. But right now, I'd probably say Jacoby Walter is slightly the better prospect than what Keontae George was last season. Comparing him to Chris Middleton, sure. A shorter Chris Middleton. Pull-up jump shot is amazing. The 3-ball is definitely good as well. But it's really just him able to create his own shot. At 9 to the Hawks, I guess we're replacing, we're going to replace DeJounte Murray. I don't mind it. I'll give it a B+. At 10, he has Kyle Filipowski to the Portland Trail Blazers. I mean, yeah, at this point, the Blazers are probably looking for more of a proven guy. They have their, at least their guards in Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson, at least for the future. Interesting to see what happens with Simons, if they're going to keep him for the future. Me, personally, I think we have to trade him sometime soon. Same thing with Brogdon. But, yeah, it's just a proven big guy who has a chance at the Player of the Year. And overall should help the Blazers start contending sooner than later. At 11, we have Tijan Salon out of France. Yeah, what more do you want me to say about these lengthy French wings? 6'9", 203. Doesn't look 203. Gets in the passing lanes. Extremely athletic. It's basically all these French wings that we've seen over the last couple of years. Koulibaly, Zachary Sachet, Tijan Salon, Ousmane Dieng. And like I said before, Ryan Rupert. I mean, these guys are eerily similar. Out of France. I don't know why they all have the same builds, but that's just the way it is. To the Bulls at 11, probably would rather a guard there to start their rebuild, like Isaiah Collier, possibly Stephon Castle as well. I'll give it a B though. I don't mind the pick at all. Chandler Parsons is definitely an interesting comparison though. At 12, we have Ron Holland. The Thunder obviously don't need these prospect or project players right now because they're definitely starting to contend. They're the number 1 overall seed in the West right now as I'm recording. But if Holland slips to 12, it's just way too have a potential to pass up upon, especially if you're the Thunder and you have the ability to make championship runs with the team you have right now. Why don't we just go ahead and get I said championship runs. Obviously, they have not done that as of yet, but they're the 1 seed in the West right now. We can't deny them from the fact that they're probably going to end up having a shot at the NBA Finals. So might as well just take a guy who can possibly, potentially replace Josh Giddey if he doesn't beat the allegations. Who knows? At 13, they don't play the same position, but I guess slide J-Dub to the 2 and put him at the 3. If that makes sense. Or slide Dort to the 2, J-Dub at the 3, him at the 4. Sure, why not? Don't mind the pick. Actually, I like the pick. I'll give it an A-. At 13, we have Ryan Dunn. Lockdown defender. I mean, only reason I'm a little bit concerned is because I don't know how high a lockdown defender who can't shoot goes in this draft class. It is to a team who's going to try to contend like the Thunder, so it makes more sense to get a role player like him. But shooting has not been there for Ryan Dunn. So interesting to see him go this high. He should overall have good potential as a shooter, though. Just right now, it's not really there for him. At 14, Isaiah Collier to the Pelicans. Yes, they need a true point guard. Isaiah Collier fits that perfectly. Comparisons for him. I really like the Emmanuel Mudiay comparison, actually. And Tyreek Evans, I guess younger Tyreek Evans, who's more of a point guard. 6'4", 205, could probably tell you a lot about him. He's a tank. And he's really just been able to run the offense there. They always have Boogie Ellis, but he's really been able to slow things down and run the offense at his pace. I really like Isaiah Collier. I think he should probably end up going higher, though. I'll give this one an A+. I think this is my first A+ of the video, unless I gave one. Let me think. I think this is probably my first A+ of the video, unless I gave one to Cody Williams, or Alex Sarr probably gave one to him as well. I really like Isaiah Collier out of USC. At 15, Dalton Knecht to the Magic. Yep, it's a team who's going to try to start winning sooner than later and go get a proven guy. Dalton Knecht having an amazing season at Tennessee, making them one of the better teams in college basketball. It just makes too much sense. Don't get a random project player. Don't get like Justin Edwards, even though it's kind of throwing shit at him. He has not been great at Kentucky so far this season. Go get a guy who's proven himself in Dalton Knecht. Great pick. I'll give it an A-. I think this should be around his range as well. Late teens, early 20s. It's probably the top of his range. At 16, Stephon Castle. Got injured early to start the season for UConn. But he's come back. He's been pretty good. Not as good as he was to start, but he's just too much potential for the Raptors to pass up here on 16. He's listed at 6'7", 190. I'd probably say he's closer to 6'6", 210. But great pick to start the rebuild for the Raptors. He has a lot of potential. Anthony Black, Markelle Fultz, kind of disrespectful. Kind of like the Markelle Fultz one a little bit more. But I guess it makes sense. Castle has not been great to start the season, but he's someone who I had in my, top 10 to start the mock drafts. Stephon Castle should have a great career if he improves that jump shot. At 17, Zach Edey out of Purdue. Yeah, I mean, the Heat like picking their older players to help contribute right away. Zach Edey, player of the year, 7'3", 300 pounds. He's just way too big to pass up on. He'd also definitely need big depth. Right now, their backup center is Nikola Jovic. He's not even really a center, so there's that. But right now, I think Edey would definitely bring good minutes right away to the Heat team. Shades of Ivica Zubac. Okay, I mean, they kind of look similar, so I guess there's that. 18, also Iguodala out of Marquette. Sure, for the Knicks. I think there's definitely three centers I'll probably take ahead of him right now at 18 for the Knicks. Donovan Clingan, Khalil Ware, and the guy from Baylor, the Misi. Don't know how to pronounce his name. Make sure to get that down before my next mock draft. But yes, also Iguodala. He has been a good player for Marquette this season. Great touch around the rim. Pretty good rebounding. And overall, I mean, he's just able to get that floater off. When you're a 6'11 big man, you probably expect him to, pound you down below. But he's able to he's able to get the floater, and he has great touch around the rim. That's really what has him in the first round in the first place. Definitely see him as a late first round pick, but 18 just feels a little rich for me. I don't know. At 19, Donovan Clingan to the Hawks. Yeah, Clint Capella probably going to be as good as gone once they trade DeJounte Murray, because I feel like you just have to not blow it up, but a controlled blow it up at this point. Like, don't go ahead and trade Trae Young, but go ahead and trade DeJounte Murray. Most likely Clint Capella, and potentially someone like DeAndre Hunter to give this team a fresher feel, because right now, or the last couple of years, this team has felt like the same thing, a first-round exit. So, starting Onyeka Okongwu next season, Onyeka Okongwu, and putting Donovan Clingan as the backup center sounds like a great idea to me. I like this pick from Clingan. If I have not been grading these picks since Don't Connect, I'll give Castle A-. Zach Edey a B+. Also a Iguodala C, probably just a C, because I think there's three better centers on the board right now. And Donovan Clingan a B+. At 20, there's the center I was just talking about. Yves Misi, don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a lob threat to say the least. There's always going to be a NBA spot for a lob threat, an aggressive player who's going to go up, grab the ball, and just dunk it. And why not to the Suns? They need big depth that makes sense. I'll give it a B+. 21, Khalil Ware. Again, yeah, sure. Valanciunas is getting old, and I think the Pelicans definitely missed that high-flying ability of Jackson Hayes. So, getting a similar player like Khalil Ware, who has the high-flying lob threat ability, also has improved his shot over his last 2 seasons in college. I think it's a great pick for the Pelicans at 21. I'll give it an A-, because I probably would prefer him over Misi and possibly over Clingan as well. At 22, I also want to see Khalil Ware. I want to see him get in the lottery this season. At 22, Justin Edwards. Mentioned it before. Don't really like him right now. The shot's not falling. It's really just not going well for Justin Edwards. Basically has fallen out of the Kentucky rotation. But, sure, if the Knicks want to pick a project player at 22, go ahead and do it. I'll give it a C+ just because he's not been great. At 23, Tyler Smith. Also player comparison Malik Monk. Sure. Tyler Smith. Yeah, when you have two big men who can't shoot, and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and two guards who like to spread the ball out, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, go ahead and put a 6'11" stretch 4 in the corner and see how that works out for your team. It's going to work out great. As long as he can hit his shots, Tyler Smith should be a great player. At 24, we have Bobby Klintman out of Sweden. Don't know where he's playing right now. What I do know is that he did play at Wake Forest last season. Here we go. Another reason I think they picked a similar guy, not in terms of play style, but in terms of potential. I don't even know if I can say potential, but low floor, high ceiling guy. Bobby Klintman, Ron Holland. Ron Holland has not been great for Ignite to start the season. Bobby Klintman, I mean, he's been overseas. He not ran away from the grind, but I think if he stayed at Wake Forest and produced better collegiate seasons, we'd probably see him a lot higher. But if the Thunder want to keep picking these project players, while I probably don't agree with it 100%, I think we could probably pick a more established player sometime in this draft, because we just picked Ron Holland and Bobby Klintman. Why don't we go get a player who's proven that he's able to perform at high levels? Top of my head, I guess if we want a shooter, that's like a forward. Alex Karaban out of UConn. Yeah, I mean, just a guy who can help contribute right away. Karaban, probably a second-round pick, though, I'd say. If he decides to declare, because you never know. 25, Ethan Almanza. Yeah, 6'10", power forward / center. Nuggets don't have backup center minutes, really. And Ethan Almanza, will most likely be able to give that for them for the future, because I don't know if he will do it right away. Most likely he will not. But he's a great rebounder, great shot blocker, and overall his inside score can get better. But he has a lot of potential. Um, 25, I think it's a little too low for me though. I think I had him more at 10 in my last mock draft. I probably will split the difference and probably put him at like what? Probably put him at like 17, somewhere between 14. Probably right mid-teens, early 20s, I'd say. 26, Tyrese Proctor. Okay. It's backup point guard, I guess. Or I guess if you want to play him both with Tyrese Maxey. Maxey doesn't give much playmaking in terms of passing the ball. Tyrese Proctor does give that. 6'5", 6'6" point guard. It's an NBA player. You know, when you get those type of guards, him, Nikola Topic, who that is definitely a different type of player, but similar build. 6'5", 6'6", and basically a point guard. So Proctor, not an amazing season at Duke, has kind of went up and down, similar to what Duke's season has been. Lately, though, they've been good. They think they're a top 10 team right now. Like to see Tyrese Proctor improve and maybe force himself into the lottery conversation when we're all said and done. At 27, we have another Duke player, Jared McCain, who's had a better shooting season than I expected. I did not expect him to come into Duke and immediately be a potential first-round pick. I thought he was going to spend multiple seasons at Duke, maybe even 4 seasons. But he's a point guard who's just a shooter. So Steph Curry, I guess, makes some sense. But you're really just putting him on the Timberwolves to be next to Anthony Edwards or come off the bench with the second unit and just shoot the ball. As long as he can shoot in the NBA, Jared McCain should be a good player. At 28, I keep forgetting to do the grades. I think I stopped at, Justin Edwards, I gave a C. For Tyler Smith, I'll give it a B+. I like it. Bobby Clayton, B, just because I think we should get a more established player, maybe B-. Ethan Almanza, a B as well. Tyrese Proctor, B+. Jared McCain, B. At 28, we have Melvin Ejinka. Don't know too much about him or Ejinsa. He's out of France as well, so I wonder if he has the similar type build. But long arm lefty shot maker. Sure. I mean, the Bucks need shot makers, I guess. I mean, how many players in the Bucks can create their own shot right now who are not on the way out? Giannis, Damian Lillard. I mean, Giannis can't even create a shot like that, so I don't know why I said that. Damian Lillard, Middleton at this point in his career, are we too sure? I don't know about that one. So I guess someone to throw in at the 2/3 position of Melvin Ejinsa could make some sense. I mean, if Kevin O'Connor's scouting is correct, then he seems like a good plug-and-play player for the Bucks right away, maybe securing that shooting guard spot where they've been looking at for a while to try to plug in. We've seen Andre Jackson Jr., who's had his flashes this season. Marjon Beauchamp, same thing. Pat Connaughton at the shooting guard position. Grayson Allen, they've ran through some guys. Maybe this guy will give him some more security, though. You never really know. At 29, Trevon Brazile out of Arkansas. Said this so many times. If you're a lob threat, you have a place in the NBA. And Trevon Brazile is the definition of a lob threat. Insane athleticism. Late first round feels pretty good for him. Maybe early second round as well. But you're a lob threat, you have a spot in the league. Good pick for the Raptors here. I keep forgetting to do these grades. Melvin, I'll give it a B+, and for Trevon Brazile, I'll give it a B+ as well. Finally, last pick at 30, we have DaRon Holmes out of Dayton. He's having a potential player of the year type season. Probably won't win it because Zach Edey exists and Kyle Filipowski, but it will go to Zach Edey. It's been big man recently. But DaRon Holmes, sure. He's not going to be as good as he was in college, as he will be in the NBA, or as he could be in the NBA, because you're going against college students versus you're going against 30-year-old grown men. There's definitely a difference. But I'm not going to hate on DaRon Holmes. I mean, he's been a great player at Dayton. He's definitely made Dayton a better team than they probably are, just saying the facts. And overall, yes, the definition of what the Celtics need is more bench help, because right now their bench is a little weak. Luke Cornett has stepped up. Guys like Sam Hauser has stepped up. But overall, the bench has not been amazing. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Also, like Kevin O'Connor said, out with Al Horford during retirement, they could use another big man. Thanks for watching this video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I always will react to Kevin O'Connor's draft guide once he releases a new one, potentially. But yes, Kevin O'Connor, one of my favorite NBA draft analysts. And yeah, make sure to check out this draft guide. Make sure to check out the future draft guides. And react, or not react to, but watch my mock draft when it comes out, because I think it'll be a lot better as we go on. You know, when it gets later in the season, we know more about players, and the projections will get better. So thanks for watching this video, and make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribing is definitely a big thing, helps a lot. We're trying to get to, I know we're not at, I think we're at like 116 right now. Might sound a lot, but we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers sometime within 2024. I think that's definitely reasonable, considering we've had a lot of growth recently. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe for NFL and NBA type content, as well as college basketball and college football. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'll stop yapping, and see you next time. Peace.